Hi guys, big up everyone. Please keep watching Transit TV. Don't touch that dial.
Alright, keep watching Transit TV.
Able to analyze well, to take informations before they get the ball, to make quick decisions, and to realize as well.
You need to start thinking in this direction. And the last clip is what we're about to listen. And Arsene Wenger made a very profound statement, one that really caught me. And I believe anybody, regardless of what you do, you need to hear this quote. Tranzeet TV, welcome back again to the studios, back to our Let's Talk show. It's been a little bit, been on the road, traveling through the nooks and crannies of United States of America, and back. It's good to be back to the studio to bring you this our interesting show. And this time around, this week, we have two iconic figures in the world of sports, and as I went, I got an interview. This is a man that revolutionized football in not just Arsenal, but in the United States, the United Kingdom. And whenever he speaks, not just football, the world listens. A man of utmost intelligence, a man that is a deep thinker, a man that looks so much ahead. Yeah, he had this interview with Mo Farah, the long distance athlete that won gold medal both in 2012 and 2016 Olympics for both 5,000 and 10,000 meters marathon, who also is a very ardent Arsenal fan, a man that adores Wenger, that says Wenger is his hero, his personal hero. These two people have one thing in common, that is that they support Arsenal, and they are also successful in their careers. So there were some very interesting posts and comments made by Wenger, some very interesting questions that Mo asked Wenger, and he gave some very intriguing, fascinating responses. If you are somebody that looks ahead, that thinks about the future, you want to watch this one, you want to listen to this one, you want to get this SR from this interview. And he talked about where football was going, what is required of the modern day footballer, and some little time in the program as well. If you stay tuned, Arsène Wenger gave a very profound quote that is not just related to football or sports, that can also help you in whatever you do in life as a career or even as a student. So stay tuned. Before we go on this one, let me remind you, don't forget, you know the drill, because you are a superman, because you are out there, you are a football man, you are a sports lover, and you like good things. I know, that's why I'm telling you, go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so. Hit like, you guys did very well the Anybody video. We are looking for 100 likes. As you're watching, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not done so, and most importantly, share this content. It is very, very educative. It's going to be interesting. And yeah, let's go. So let's listen to the first clip. Like I said,
what major changes do you see in football in the next 10 years?
I would say that purely technically, less time available for the players to make decisions, more pressure, more worldwide football, and maybe we have to develop bigger squads, because the demands on the players are becoming bigger, and as well educate the players to cope with the new developments. That means being perfect athletes, but as well being capable to.
Yeah, so you heard him there. More asked him, how does he see football in the next 10 years? You know, you remember, like I said, when I came into England, he revolutionized the game of football. He saw through the future, and some of the things, that visions that he brought, that nobody took serious when he brought them, became the mainstay in the game. So we'll ask him again, 10 years from now, how do you see this game evolving? And when I made some very interesting comments, he talked about there's going to be lesser ability of players technically. He also talked about there's going to be lesser time for players to be on the ball. There's going to be under pressure more often, and they have lesser time to make decisions. And he also envisaged that football is going to become more global, that more nations, more people, more community are going to take to this game of sports. And he also said because of the pressure that the players are having now, more games, more physical demands, that the teams are going to need to have bigger sports. They're going to open up the number of players that every team is going to have, and of course that teams will have to invest in educating players, not just in football, but to make them all-round complete human beings, to make them to be able to cope with the demands of the game. And if you look at this, I know some of you out there will say it's nothing big, but you can see that already today these things are getting in. I remember the other day one of the coaches was asked this question. He said he has some ideas and it looks like it's going to be an option. So get ready for bigger squad. If you or your ones, your son, your cousins are going to go into this game, start preparing them. It's going to be a little bit more demanding, both physically and mentally. They need to think faster. They have to have the ability to cope with the physical demands of this game, and this means players need to look after themselves a little bit more than they do now. Even though players now are well looked after compared to their peers like 10-15 years ago, so even in the future there's going to even be more demand for players to actually look after themselves, to give them the ability to cope with the physical pressure, even the mental one. So education is important, and education is not just intellectual, as in like the real life, full life education on how to cope with some of these pressures, multicultural coexistence, handling of pressure, and still be successful and happy in what you do, to also avoid mental health issues as these demands begin to pile up. The second clip, let's take a listen. If you're an Arsenal fan, this one will interest you.
Capable to analyze well, to take informations before they get the ball, to make quicker decisions, and to realize as well the quality of the decision making would be absolutely vital in the final third, for example. So the demands are higher in every position.
Yeah.
For the defenders to be better technically in the build-up, for the strikers to defend quicker when they lose the ball. So everybody demand to be a complete player has increased. Everybody.
Yes. We'll ask him here, if you watched, what is going to be the demand? What does the modern day football, what attributes does the modern day footballer need to have to succeed in the game of football? And these are some of the things that Arsene Wenger mentioned in that one. He said the player has to have better analytical ability before even receiving the ball, so that he should be able to analyze his environment, what's going on around him, even before he gets the ball, so that he can make quicker and faster decisions with the ball. Remember, in the first one, he talked about players not having much time on the ball. So this is a continuation of that. If you cannot analyze your environment quickly and as fast as possible, then it's going to be difficult for you to make quick decisions. He also said that players have to have the quality in making decisions in the final third. It's going to be very, very critical, because you don't have much time on the ball. So the quality of decisions that you make affects the result, the outcome of the game. Because if you don't make good decisions at the final third as quickly as you can, the team don't score goals and you don't win games. And we're already seeing that this day. The example is Arsene against Newcastle the other day. So players need to have better and quality decisions in the final third. These are the demands of the game. So if you have anybody that any child, any cousin, nephew, even niece that is going to the game of football, you need to start preparing them about making decisions in the final third. And the last thing that he mentioned is players being all-round players. If you remember, like I said, if you're an Arsenal fan, if you are, I think Arsene said the same thing, the other United fan, this is the module that Arsenal has been deployed recently. You have to be able to play in multiple positions. As Wenger is saying, that players have to have the ability to be effective and efficient, both offensively and defensively. Being able to play in multiple positions on the field is going to be one of the major demands of modern day footballer. So if you are that player, if you are going into the game, or you have anybody going to the game, you're thinking about, I want to be a winger, those days are going to go by quickly. You need to be able to be a striker, be a winger, and as well help your team defend when the time comes. So if Arsenal already under Arteta is on that road, the player that are in Arsenal sport right now can play different wings. I'm already mentioning the other day for United that the players should have open mind to be able to help the team wherever they are needed. So this is the direction that this game is going, both as a player, as a coach. You need to start thinking in this direction. And the last clip is what we're about to listen, and Arsène Wenger made a very profound statement, one that really caught me, and I believe anybody, regardless of what you do, you need to hear this quote. Let's take a listen.
Do you have any mottos or any things that you tell yourself to get you through the line?
Well, usually, personally, I believe that we are tempted to be a bit too much protective of ourselves and not push ourselves enough. When I look back in my life, I feel that when you're young, you always put the brakes on a bit too early. Don't be scared to push yourself, and you discover a lot about yourself as well when you accept to suffer. In life, when you want to be at the top level, suffering is optional. You choose. Pain is.
Do not be protective of yourself, too protective of yourself. But the main statement there was, you discover a lot about yourself when you accept to suffer. Suffering is optional. It is your choice. You discover more about yourself when you accept to suffer. And he said this with regards to players wanting it easy, people thinking that things should be easy. He said, no, when things are easy, when things are comfortable, you don't really know who you are because things happen almost without you thinking. But when you accept that I can suffer, that's when you know the innate qualities you have as a human being, and it helps you to achieve even bigger things, because as a human being, you need to commit to things that are larger than your life, that are bigger than you, things that ordinarily you shouldn't be achieving. That what makes you successful. This is what separates the successful people and the failures. If you look at players like Ronaldo, when they came up, yes, they were talented, yes, they had the ability, but you could see how hard they worked to get to where they are. Some people like Arsène Wenger, by now, I think he should be retired and enjoying his life, but he's still working, dedicating his time and his life to this game of football, trying to revolutionize football at that age, at over 70. So that's what he's saying. If you accept to suffer, that's when you know more about yourself, more about what it is you can do. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Wenger is still relevant in football? Do you like what he's doing in FIFA? What do you think FIFA can do, differently to help the game of football? I really enjoyed that interview. The link is going to be in the comment section. Go and watch the full interview, and help yourself, get educated. That man, Arsène Wenger, is not somebody that when he speaks you don't listen. I enjoy listening to Wenger anytime, any day. A very profound man, very intelligent and easygoing. Mo, thanks for bringing Wenger to us on this one, and I'll see you guys again next time. Ciao.